Mr. Velamvelli Muraleedharan is a politician from Kerala representing the Bharatiya Janata Party and the current Union Minister of State for External Affairs and Parliamentary Affairs. He was the 8th State President of Bharatiya Janata Party in Kerala. Mr. Muraleedharan began his political activities during the days of national emergency that gripped India from June 1975 to March 1977. Mr. Muraleedharan left for Mumbai when he was appointed the All India General Secretary of ABVP from 1994 to 1996. His formal entry into the fore of the BJP took place during the 1998 Lok Sabha elections. He was elected as a Member of Parliament in the Rajya Sabha from the state of Maharashtra in April 2018. He was sworn in as a Union Minister on 30th May 2019. We are honored to welcome Mr. Velamvelli Muraleedharan to the World Parliament of Science, Religion and Philosophy 2020.
I would like to request the Honorable Minister of State for External Affairs and Parliamentary Affairs, Government of India, the special guest of honor of this session, Shri V. Muraleedharan sir, to kindly address the gathering. Over to you, sir.
Sri Vishwanath Karadji, founder and chief patron of the Mahatma of the MIT World Peace University and president of MIT World Peace University, Sri Rahul Karadji, executive president MIT World Peace University, other distinguished guests, dear students, ladies and gentlemen, namaskaram and good morning to all of you. I must congratulate Professor Dr. Vishwanath D. Karad and MIT World Peace University, Pune, for successfully organizing the World Parliament of Science, Religion and Philosophy every year, coinciding with the birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi, the father of our nation. At the same time, when I look at the title, I can't but remember another great son of India, Swami Vivekananda, and his address to the Parliament of World's Religions in Chicago in 1893. I am of the view that both of them are indispensable part of our history. One led the cultural awakening of India, while the other led the political awakening of our country. Considering that today is the 151st birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi, I bow my head in respect and in remembrance while I pay my respects to the great soul. Gandhiji, addressed as the father of the nation, and as an ideal father, he has guided all of us to lead a truthful, ethical, and honorable life. His contribution to the nation shall never be undermined, and his greatness will light the paths of our lives for generations to come. There is a lot that the today's youth of India can imbibe from Gandhiji. He was a seeker of truth and pursued timeless discipline and spirituality all his life. He was greatly inclined to the Indian traditions and encouraged young minds about self-reliance as a crucial prerequisite to success. I'm sure that there cannot be a more fitting tribute to him than discussing the ways and means to further the cause of brotherhood, ahimsa, and peace, ideals that were close to his heart, which incidentally the 6th World Parliament of Science, Religion and Philosophy also seeks to promote. Friends, to my mind, India has been the real World Parliament of Science, Religion and Philosophy. India was the global center of learning and knowledge in the ancient world. From across the globe, ancient India not only attracted curious travelers, traders and treasure seekers, but also those who were in the pursuit of knowledge. I am proud to say, when the rest of the world knew nothing about institutionalized way of higher learning, India was already home to famous universities in Takshashila and Nalanda that attracted scholars from near and far. For an Indian mind, science and spirituality are never separable. Neither is philosophy and religion. India's greatest religious works are also the embodiment of its greatest philosophical thoughts. It's also true that the greatest philosophical thoughts of India had greater impact on the Indian psyche when it used the metaphors of religion. In ancient India, science was never meant for achieving mere material progress, but was a means of achieving greater spiritual appreciation. The Saint Gyaneshwar World Peace Dome at Loni Kalabor in Pune, where this edition of Parliament is happening, is yet another contemporary example of the synthesis of science and spirituality in the true Indian tradition. Friends, while we have such a glorious tradition of learning and education, where do we stand now in the present global context? Is our universities and colleges producing enlightened students who can lead tomorrow's India? Are we nurturing creative thinking and innovation among our students? I'm afraid I may have to reply in the negative. Most of our institutions of higher learning are not doing this, or are unable to do this. One reason for this deceleration could be that our education systems, institutions, and pedagogy that we follow are not very scientific, but a blind copy of someone else's trade. The education system that independent India inherited has outlived its utility. It is no longer able to support the aspirations of our youth in building a creative, strong, prosperous, and innovative India. An India that fits its status as ancient civilization, but at the same time counts as a modern and 21st century nation. The issue has been a major concern for our government, and under the leadership of our Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, today I am proud to say a new beginning has been made in the new education policy. The new education policy seeks nothing short of a revolution in our education system in terms of its understanding, approach, and outreach. I would say it will usher in the much needed freedom of choice in education, especially in higher learning, while permitting better flexibility in terms of time span for completing studies. True to Indian ethos, the NEP aims to promote and develop all aspects of a student's being, that is physical, spiritual, and intellectual. I am happy that you will be among the first set of beneficiaries of the reformed national education policy. At this juncture, I would also appeal to the students and teachers of MIT World Peace University to contribute to the debate constructively and join hands with the government in implementing the NEP in its letter and spirit. Friends, while the world moves ahead at an astounding pace, it's also leaving chaos, confusion, bloodshed, and discrimination in its wake. Further, terrorism has emerged as the Damocles' sword that hangs over the head of humanity. The solution to all this lies within the Indian philosophy of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That is the understanding the world is one family, irrespective of race, religion, class, and creed. The world needs a voice of moderation in tackling the global challenges that it faces. India hopes to be that voice of moderation when it assumes significantly the status of a non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council for 2 years from the year 2021. As articulated by our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji in his address to the UN General Assembly a few days ago, India will also work towards reforming the global decision-making bodies with an approach of reformed multilateralism so that they become more effective in preventing and mitigating conflicts across the world, which is the very reason for the existence of United Nations. Friends, the COVID-19 pandemic has also created difficult times for the world. No country is sure how to check the spread of coronavirus or how long will the pandemic will really last. These are the times when the whole world must unite as a family, setting aside all our differences while we fight the menace of COVID-19. As the virus does not know borders, our efforts to tackle the virus should also be beyond the national borders of individual countries. I mean, there is a need for collective efforts of nations in defeating the virus and in preventing the emergence of similar such threats in the future. India, through to its ethos of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, has emerged as the pharmacy of the world, supplying life-saving medicines to more than 150 countries, which include many of the developed nations as well. India is also in the forefront of research to develop a vaccine against COVID-19. India will, I can confidently say that whatever may be the solution to this problem, India will always be part of that solution. I'm aware that COVID-19 has caused severe disruptions to the conventional way of classroom learning. But at the same time, thanks to the digital revolution, students are able to maintain continuity in their education. As people say, challenges are opportunities in disguise. These challenging times too present certain opportunities to the students, and therefore, I urge all of you to remain vigilant, think innovatively, and grab whatever opportunities that comes to your way. Friends, crisis requires leadership. A leadership that keeps pace, that keeps peace at the forefront. A leadership that is sensitized towards the people, and a leadership where the welfare of the world at large is placed supreme. I am happy to know that Sri Rahul V. Karad has come up with the MIT School of Government, which works relentlessly to train youngsters in the science of governance. Further, it also gives an insight to the various aspects of leadership, which is the need of the hour. I personally is of the view that the educated youth must become part of political activity, and is of the firm belief that it should bring in their expertise and skill set in the field of politics. The new blood has the synergy required to bring in changes in our system of governance. New ideas are important for the development and strengthening of democracy. Therefore, I wish him all success in this endeavor. In conclusion, I am happy to note that the 6th World Parliament of Science, Religion and Philosophy will have several unique sessions on thought-provoking themes where many eminent personalities from all walks of life are scheduled to participate. I wish you all a fruitful deliberation during the next few days and wish you success. I am very optimistic that this unique parliament will be very much successful in achieving its objectives. I must also apologize to all of you for the delay in joining this program, as I was traveling from Delhi to Thiruvananthapuram, and I am addressing you from the Raj Bhavan in Trivandrum, and the delay that has happened, once again I apologize. With these words, I must thank you for the attention. Jai Hind.
You know, I know, Honorable Minister, the training in politics, training life, how it is important, and you have always promoted this very cause. So the School of Government is one very important endeavor. So someday I wish that you visit city of Pune, and maybe after the pandemic, and of course the world biggest monument, the World Peace Dome, sir. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for those words.